Rhodri.
Is there anything that Lionel Messi is better than you at? It's opinions. I respect your opinions. Maybe in your opinion Messi is better than me, but in my mind I'm better than him.
I do it again.
Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what. Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go add up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just hit the money and go stack up. Only buy car cards and get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up,
Yes, guys, I'm Si. Welcome to Ace Podcast Nation. Welcome to the home of Rhodri Giggs on football for 45 minutes of non-stop football chat. And as always, brutally honest opinions, substandard analysis from myself, maybe a bit slightly higher level from Rhodri now and again. But big shout out to all the new followers, new subscribers, etc. Appreciate you all, guys. Make sure you drop your comments, all that, like the video, share, all that stuff. It's good. Did some big numbers yesterday on the Cardiff City show, which was nice to see. Hopefully we can carry that on this evening as well. But as always, we'll be talking football, so get involved in the conversation. So just as we do wait for some of the latecomers and the stragglers, we always like to do the Super 6 Prediction League, which we're raising money for charity again this year. You can still jump in if you do the Super 6 Prediction League on Sky. You can jump in, look out for Will Meliush in the YouTube chat, and you can get involved, join the group, raise money. But this week, Peter McElroy came out on top of the league with 18 points. A special mention to Steve Thorpe, who came second in 16 with 16. Steve's the founder of this season's charity, which is the Free Kicks Foundation. They provide special match day experiences for young children who otherwise wouldn't be able to experience a day out of the football. But let's have a look at how me and Rhodri get on, because this is what we enjoy. It's head-to-head all the way through. I've smashed Rhodri into oblivion the last couple of seasons, obviously, but he's got a massive 7-point gap at the moment. I scored 6 this week. He scored 9, taking his total to 222, which is bad luck in cricket, and myself on 215. The next round is this week at 3 o'clock. Luckily for me, there is no
7 points behind. Yeah,
I'm 7 points behind, mate. Yeah, I'm thinking you'll be all right.
You lost one again.
Not sure, mate. Yeah, you made up 3. You made up 3 points this week. Well done. I got to keep it interesting because people getting bored, didn't they, after the last couple of years?
We must remember that the first season must have an asterisk on it because I didn't start till about October. Remember?
Okay. Yeah. Excuses all the time, mate.
Let's talk about the FPL.
Well, we can't. If you'd let me finish and let me not interrupt, no Fantasy Premier League update this week because of the Premier League winter break. So this round of Fantasy Premier League is spread over 2 weeks. So unfortunately, we can't discuss that any further. What a shame.
Well, we can discuss your position in the league, which is a bottom feeder.
Yeah, about as low as it can go, mate, isn't it? About as low as it can
Lower than
go.
a snake's belly, I'd say.
Indeed. So, mate, there's loads to discuss. Obviously, normally we start with your club, Man United. I'm going to give you a break from that for now. We will talk about them a bit later. But I want to talk about a couple of things coming out of the Saudi Arabian League. Steven Gerrard set to extend his contract at Al Ettifaq. Apologies if I didn't pronounce that correctly.
Who's it again? Sorry, I didn't miss that.
Al Ettifaq.
Oh, okay.
According to the Saudi Arabian sources, the club are preparing to announce that he signed a 2-year extension, having only joined in July. Despite struggling for wins this season, they lie 8th in the table. They finished 7th last season, finishing a massive 35 points behind the champions. Look, mate, I don't think it's any secret that I don't think Steven Gerrard is the greatest manager to ever exist. I don't think that's a secret. But he seems to be struggling out there a little bit. But then, fair play to the club. They're backing him, giving him an extra 2 years. I'm sure his bank balance will be nicely topped up from that. But alongside that, we have Jordan Henderson has left Saudi Arabia only 6 months after joining to join Ajax, which is an interesting move. So I want your thoughts on kind of those two stories simultaneously, because obviously Jordan Henderson was at Steven Gerrard's club. First of all, is that a blow to Steven Gerrard to lose Jordan Henderson only 6 months after his move?
No, because they've not won a game in 8 games. Jordan Henderson playing in them games. So, no, not a big miss. He's obviously not happy. So, a player unhappy is no good to you as a manager. So, yeah, it's unlucky. So, was it worth the money? All the crap he got for the laces and there. So, it probably wasn't worth it. But, he tried it. He's obviously not done his research, thinking it's going to be, like
maybe a higher level than he thought. Do you think he thought it was going to be a higher standard?
Better level. Probably the facilities aren't up to date yet, even though the money's astronomical. But yeah, he's obviously not done his research, and his family are not happy and he wants home. So Saga's over. He's at Ajax now, so see how they do. But they're struggling. So
yeah, it's quite interesting, mate, because obviously he signed a 3-year contract, which was worth 700 grand a week. So for 6 months, he's had that whopping amount of money. My maths is not great, but he's not struggling for the rent. But interestingly, they've agreed to terminate his contract to facilitate the move, and now he's gone to Ajax on a 2.5-year deal. So it's a permanent deal. Ajax, as you mentioned, are struggling for the first time in a long time. They're struggling in the Dutch league. Do you think that's an intelligent signing from them to bring Jordan Henderson in? I think it might take him a bit of time to get going because of the standard of football he's been playing. But once he does get going,
he's probably earned about 17 million in that 6 months. Obviously, tax, they won't get the tax benefits because I think he's got to stay there for over 2 years to receive that tax benefit. So even half of that for 6 months, you know what I mean? Like being whatnot. 8-9 million. So yeah, it's not too bad, but the money's not worth the money if you're not happy. So,
no, and
it's not like he's eating beans on toast every night before he went. So yeah, and the Steven Gerrard, it's good they've stuck by him. It's obviously they're going with the long call, and it's good for him that I think he can get his teeth into proper coaching, learning the games. He's still a new coach and a new manager, and then we'll see how he ends up. It could make his reputation even worse, but like I say, he'd be a lot more well off.
Yeah, and I think, look, people criticise the players for going there and the managers for going there. I don't necessarily buy into that side of things because I just think you're talking.
Mate, I won't give a shit.
Generational wealth, isn't it?
Yeah. Sorry for interrupting. Go on, mate.
It's just generational wealth. Like, and don't get me wrong, none of these footballers are struggling for cash. I'm not saying that by any means, but you're talking what did you say? 17 million in 6 months.
He's earning about 30-odd million a year.
That's just like an astronomical amount.
3 years, do the math. It's a lot of money.
Of course. But he's not the only player, Jordan Henderson, who there's been rumours of kind of wanting out of the Saudi league. Benzema has been linked with a move on loans potentially to Manchester United.
He's on big though as well, isn't he? He's on
massive wages as well. He was one of the highest paid ones, wasn't he?
Him and Ronaldo on big though.
Would you, as a footballer, if you take, I don't really understand how United would be able to facilitate his wages with the financial fair play unless the Saudi club was going to pay the majority. But
if you went on loan,
from a football point of view, would you take Benzema till the end of the year?
Yeah.
You still think he could contribute
for the potential to keep him
if he's up to if he can go at that pace.
He only left Real Madrid fucking 6 months ago.
Yeah, it's very true. And I think the other thing is, I think is like, if I'm Højlund and I see Benzema come in, I'm happy because it takes the pressure off him a little bit. But if you're going to learn from a striker, mate, there ain't many better to learn from than from Benzema, one of the the modern day great strikers. I personally don't think it'll happen. I just think the wages involved are too much. But you never know, do you? With these loan moves, it's always weird. Like teams can pay the wages and stuff like that. But it makes a lot of sense to me. Why do you think these players want out though? Like we've mentioned the amount of money they're earning. Like, why are they looking to get that move, do you think?
Because they don't want to live in a desert, probably.
Yeah, I mean,
totally different way of life, isn't it? Totally different way of life. Yeah, if you're with your family there, you're probably isolated. You've got loads of money, but if you're not happy, what's the worth of having loads of money? Like I say, they weren't eating beans on toast before they went. They were multi-millionaires. So he's seen the money, and he's gone. He's not done his research, and he's had 6 months of unhappy family. Him, it's just a bad experience, and you just go down as an experience. So, but like I say, he's probably earned 10 million quid from it. So,
do you think
it'll probably soften the blow?
Yeah. Do you think if the likes of Benzema, Henderson, maybe a couple of others start leaving the Saudi league before they've really stayed there for long, does that hurt the long-term probability of the Saudi league becoming like one of the big leagues around the world? Certainly, in terms of football, because if players aren't hanging around for that money,
it's not good, is it?
No. Yeah, I think we kind of got to keep an eye on it. Like, I think one of the things which surprised me was the lack of fans in the stadiums. Like, that must have been quite a big culture shock to some of those players who've come from the Premier League and La Liga to then, be kind of in grounds with like, a couple of thousand, if that. I think that's got to have been a bit of a eye opener for some of them. Maybe they thought the ground, speculating obviously, but maybe they thought the grounds were going to be ram-packed. The money's there. If they're paying the players this much, the facilities are going to be kind of top level and whatnot. But I think you mentioned last week, like, if you look at some of the teams, they've got one or two like stars, if you like, from around Europe, and then they're made up of kind of local players. And maybe the standard, generally speaking, is not quite where it needs to be for the Saudi league to move on to where it is trying to get to. If that makes sense?
Yeah.
Maybe because they've got the money. Maybe they've run before they can walk, if that makes sense. But I don't know. Like, it's it's speculation, isn't it? But I am interested by it because obviously, in Henderson's case, he took a lot of shit, a lot of grief for going out. Going out there to play after some of the things he had sort of said and stuff. So, like you say, maybe like money, just because you got money doesn't mean you can't be miserable. It's one of them, isn't it? Did you watch the FA Cup games this week, mate?
Watched a bit of West Ham, and I watched a bit of Blackpool and Forest last night.
Anything sort of stand out to you, mate, in terms of the results and teams? Obviously, Newport are through 3-1 away to Eastleigh. They play yourselves. Be a big game for Newport.
Wouldn't like fancy sitting in that stand they're making now.
No, I know, innit? Anything like temporary stand, innit? Do you know, interestingly, I noticed that former Cardiff City player Aaron Wildig scored for Newport on so that was quite interesting. And like, I see a lot of people just almost writing off Newport and saying, Man United just got to go and win. And like, it's like we haven't watched the FA Cup for the last 30, 40 years as adults and seen these teams.
Si, do you want to bet?
No. Look, of course they should win. I understand that. Of course they should. But how many times have we seen it over the years, mate?
Not Manchester United, a League Two side.
Wrexham beating Arsenal with Mickey Thomas's free kick back in the day.
That's like 30 odd years ago.
But that's what I'm saying. That's like there's always a couple every year. So if United, I guess what I'm saying is, if they're not at it,
it's like comparing like Newport to Cardiff. You compared Arsenal to Man United. Come on.
Yeah, I guess. I'm just saying, like, if United are not at it,
to wind up Arsenal fans that.
We love a bit of that,
but it is still factually correct. Come on, there's Arsenal, very big club, but come on.
Yeah, especially at that time, I suppose, as well. But what would be interesting, mate, is if he does. He tends not to rotate in the cup, does he? Like he does tend to play as pretty strong.
There's no need to now. We're out the Champions League. This is the only cup you can really realistically win. So
yeah,
why would you make sure? Why would you even give a chance? Let's go there, get a professional job done. I just play like athletes. You know, like play McTominay, big, strong. Maguire fit. Get Martinez a game, a nice little game for him. Wan-Bissaka.
Could be some goals for Højlund.
Fill your boots, come on.
Yeah, and I mean, look, it should be
won't play Rashford.
I
won't play Rashford. I play Garnacho and someone else.
So it's 10 days from today. I just saw. So, like with that, Casemiro's going to be back fit where he's training, so he should probably play an hour. You'd think. Then the keeper Bayern Door is going to make his debut. I would have thought because Onana's in the AFCON.
Mason Mount might get a game. He's back training, I think, as well.
Is he? There you go. Yeah. So they're the players I would actually play. Is obviously Bayern Door is going to have to play unless they play Tom Heaton. Martinez, Casemiro, Mount. I'd probably play Højlund to try and keep his scoring run going. But if they go there, I guess with a bad attitude, which some of the time this year their attitude hasn't been great. Newport are going to be up for it, mate. The crowd's going to be behind them. It's a small crowd, but it'll be it'll be loud. We saw Leeds go to Cardiff famously in the FA Cup. They were top of the Premier League at the time, and Cardiff were, lowly second division, and they didn't like it up them. So ask Rio Ferdinand. He compared it to playing in Turkey. Newport will be up for it. So United will have to be professional. If they're professional and they play like they can, they'll win. We know this. But I just think, we've seen it so many times over the years. A couple of other ties which interest me that weekend.
Not with Manchester United, you haven't.
I was going to say, when I'm trying to think back, there must have been...
Setting them up here to fail, but there's no way they get beat. Yeah. No way. Fucking Newport County.
I'm trying to think where of any like shocks involving United. I don't remember a lot.
Leeds United was one. They were League One side at the time. Played at Old Trafford. Jermaine Beckford scored 1-0.
That's right. I remember that. So Will just put in the comments, Newport have knocked out a few Premier League teams in the FA Cup over the recent years.
Not Manchester United.
FA Cup shocks involving Man United. I don't really.
We're talking like Fulham or Bournemouth.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean like real shocks, because I think Championship teams and lower
Exeter drew United once as well.
Sure. Yeah. So let's have a look. Jose Mourinho lost to Bristol City away at Bristol City in the FA Cup.
United, but this is league. That's a Championship side. They're Championship side. Leeds United, this is Newport County. Come on.
Yeah, I agree. Like, there's a difference. There's a big difference between a Championship side, which is well funded.
They get beat there, then forget it. I'm just boycotting. I'm just not watching them this season. They shouldn't even be at Manchester United. They get beat off Newport County. Come on, this is not being disrespectful. This is arguably one of the biggest clubs in the world and going to a second division outfit who get like 2,500-3,000 fans.
Yeah. No, I don't. Like I said, if they play like they can, you'd expect United to go through.
Yeah,
Southend.
I would hope the pitch is hanging, it's windy, it's raining, and then, you know, anything they can get for advantage and make it a game for them. That's the only way they're going to get a result. If the pitch is hanging, it's pissing down with rain, wind coming off Newport, coming off from the sea. Yeah, that's the only way.
In 2006, under Fergie, Southend beat United 1-0 in the League Cup 4th round. The team contained John O'Shea, Wes Brown, Sylvester, Ronaldo, Rooney. Happens, mate.
All very early on in the careers. Rooney come in 2004, so but he was quality when he come, but Ronaldo wasn't Ronaldo when he left.
No, he wasn't the Ronaldo that he turned out to be.
Not experienced player. It can happen, but this is again, Salford United were kind of biggest club. This is Newport County with a team that have not played for 2 weeks, fresh, ready to go.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? I tell you what, an interesting game which I really like the look of is Blackburn versus Wrexham, because Blackburn have been awful in the league this year, so Wrexham will fancy that.
Wrexham will give. I've watched Wrexham a few times this season, and they'll give anyone a good game. They're a decent outfit, Wrexham.
They play some good football,
and they've got real quality up front, and it makes a difference.
Mate, when you got like Paul Mullin scores goals, but when you got the experience of Fletcher,
if you're making chance after chance after chance and missing, you're gonna get beat. If you've got one kid there, just one chance, boom, goal. Yeah,
and then
the
other thing with that is if Wrexham were to get an early-ish goal, you could see the Blackburn fans turning and getting a bit frustrated and groaning. The anxiety grows.
They'll take a good crowd, won't they?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, they'll take a good couple of thousand, I would have thought. Be a good one, mate. Be a good one. What else would I like? There was another one I really like the look of. Everton at Luton. I know it's an all Premier League game, but I like the look of that. Ipswich Town at home to Maidstone United. That's a good one because Ipswich have been flying.
At home. If it was at Maidstone, Ipswich at home. Come on. It is weird how these FA Cup games spring up some though, don't they? They spring up these.
They just always do. Every year there's them, innit?
Yeah, no, I don't know why I'm like so sure with United, but come on.
Well, like on paper and everything, in between, like they should win, shouldn't they? Let's be honest.
Like their team has probably cost like 2 million. Fucking.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, isn't it?
11 versus 11, man gets sent off early for United. 10 versus 11, never know.
United, there is some anxiety there in that United side when they get put under pressure, and I think Newport will think that they can get at them.
Oh, stop.
You're going to pay for this, mate. Someone's going to clip this up, and Newport are going to win 1-0, and then you're going to never live it down.
Yeah.
Setting yourself up for it. But no, like I said, it's understandable. Like they should win, but it's just one of them things, mate, isn't it? Did you see the stuff about Qatar? That supposedly they didn't have the funds, and that was why they never really got going with their move and stuff. All feels a bit Glazer PR-y to me myself, but I don't know. I've got no idea.
I don't.
Did you see that stuff?
As soon as I seen Glazer in the centres, I just no.
Switch off.
Yeah. Just until they're out of the club, then no. I watch them. I'm a big NFL fan. Tampa Bay in the playoffs. All of them are at the game. Getting stuck in, supporting. Yeah, it just makes me sick. They're horrible people.
Do you know? I tell you who has been doing well in the AFCON is Sofian Amrabat, mate. He had a blinder yesterday.
I never watch the African nation. I don't know why. I've never really got into it. It's just a weird time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is straight. I watched a little bit of the Morocco game, and Sofian Amrabat, mate, like it makes you wonder why he's not playing, and if it's like more of a financial decision. Because I think he'd be perfect alongside Mainu over these last few weeks, but I just don't know, mate. It's very strange to me. They brought him
The
in.
jury's out on this manager. The clock's ticking on him. He needs to sort it out.
But do you think some of it's self-inflicted with the manager? Because I think
because you look at Tottenham players, they've been missing players, but they still play the same way. Some player comes in, they still play the same way. They know what they're doing. What the fuck are we doing? We don't the same shit every season. It's every year. I mean, every week. It's dreadful.
But do you not think the pressure that Ten Hag is under, right? When you consider he had a good first season, yeah,
comes with
you
the
think
job,
that. You think that, yeah, but you'd think that would buy him like a little bit of breathing space. But do you think?
And it has.
But do you think he's brought on
14, 15 times this year still? So I mean,
yeah, man. I get what you mean. But do you think
14,
he's brought it on
15
himself
times? Some at
with
home,
his selections,
some like West Ham and Bournemouth. Come on.
I mean, even the first game of the season, the Wolves game, they were very lucky to get out with a 1-0 win, wasn't it?
I've seen them play well once. What was the game?
Yeah, there's like a handful of games. Chelsea,
Everton, handful.
Villa,
and even that Everton game, Everton had chances to go up. So
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's very clear. You could see straight away when Martinez came on against Spurs, he's a special defender, and he's a big part. It sounds weird for a centre back, but he is a massive part of how United played last year because he's the one who is able to fizz it in through the lines to a Mainu, to a Bruno. They haven't got that without him. There's nobody else in the defence who can break the lines like he does, whilst also having the aggression and the rest of it. And
no.
But that's what I was saying. So I think the manager has brought on a lot of the pressure that he's got under now himself by continually picking McTominay, for instance, when there was other options. Not when there was no other options, but when there was other options, but he kept picking him and they kept having the same issues, causing Bruno to have to cover him, blah, blah, blah. We've talked about it to death. Refusal to play certain players, sticking by Rashford probably a bit too long when he was out of form. Just, a whole host of different selections which were avoidable, in my opinion. I did see an interesting thing the other day. Obviously, Sancho came and got an assist in his first game, didn't he? And he was late for his medical. Fucking hell. I tell you what, mate. Some people just never learn, do they? But what was interesting is I've seen a few people saying that maybe Ineos will make a statement, whether Ten Hag stays or goes, they might get rid of Anthony in the summer. Do you think he deserves time to try and settle in Manchester? He's obviously had some off the field distractions. He's not in control of his price tag. Do you think he deserves another next season to try and show that he's good enough? Or do you think that maybe they might?
I do. Yeah, I do. I do think he should give him another year. It's not his fault that it's 90 million, but he's got pace, he's got quality. He needs coaching. Something needs to drop in him because he's got the tools, but it's just predictable, isn't it? Very predictable.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a striker, you would hate to play with him. Hate.
Well, do you know? If you remember, about a month ago, I said they should try when Rashford was dropped. I said try Anthony on the left and Garnacho on the right to actually use their pace to beat a man and put a bloody cross in. And Garnacho, I think, looks better on the right. I got to say, he had a really tough game against that Undoggy in it from Spurs because he was really, really physically strong, really quick. Difficult game.
Garnacho can go both ways anyway. So
yeah. And I just think maybe that would suit Anthony, but Rashford looked better against Spurs marginally. Or he certainly maybe put some effort in. Yeah, it's a weird one. Do you think Ten Hag stays after this season? I got a feeling they might go.
I don't know. It's a difficult one, that, mate. I don't know.
I guess it all depends.
It all depends how the season finishes.
Yeah, and I mean, I suppose if Martinez, Casemiro, Mount all come back and they start firing and they go on a bit of a run, finish fifth, but win the FA Cup, I could see them keeping him then because I think he's got he's got a point. Like, he's had really important injuries. He still hasn't been able to play Højlund, Mount, etc. with the core players from last year. So I think there is an argument for that. But on the other side of things, I think he's brought on a lot of the problems himself. Before we do our predictions, mate, I want to talk a bit about the Championship. Cardiff City still haven't signed anyone, which is no surprise. I talked about last night. There's a few rumours of dissension in the ranks and stuff, which is always handy as you're trying to, get yourself ramped up for the second part of the season. A bit of good news though for Cardiff City. Aaron Ramsey is back in training. I think that's massive to get him back. Obviously, a quality player. They've got to get players in ultimately. Like, if they don't get players in, they're going to struggle. It's just fact of life. But Leicester flying. They've actually opened up a 7-point gap now at the top between them and Ipswich. They did lose their last game, but do you think Leicester might pull away from that group now in the Championship?
Yes, 100%. Just looking at the table now, 100%. They've
Southampton look poised to catch Ipswich, don't they?
Southampton look strong, and what have they got? 46. They've got 19 games left, and there's 7 points. But it's the way they're playing; they're looking really strong, aren't they?
Yeah, and Ipswich have just faltered a little bit recently. Dropped, they drew 3 on the bounce after losing 1. They did win their last game, but I mean, the Ipswich, I said it to you before, Ipswich, I thought looked the best side I'd seen Cardiff play this year. Although I did think I thought Leeds were very good at Cardiff on Saturday, but Cardiff gave them way too much respect. Just let them play. It was frustrating as hell.
There's always one that misses out, really, but it looks like there's going to be 2 that misses out this year because Leeds look pretty strong as well. Yeah,
I think that top 4, mate, I would not be surprised if 2 of them go up and the other 2 end up in the playoff final, like just because of the quality of them. But there's always a team.
There's always a late runner, though, isn't there?
Always. And like it could be, Cardiff, Sunderland, Norwich, Middlesbrough. I think Middlesbrough could be in a good position because when I look at Middlesbrough, they've got the experience of last year going close. They've had a rough start to the season and they've really built up a bit of momentum. I rate Carrick. They've got a good squad. And I think they could be the ones who have got that bit of experience from last year to put a late run together. But then Sunderland, the same as well. I think Sunderland, the one thing with Sunderland, which they don't have this year, is Ahmad. I thought, obviously he was their player of the year. He created and scored a lot of goals for them, and they haven't got him this year.
But even though with Cardiff, in the last couple of years, they've been floating
fighting relegation.
Yeah, safe this year, aren't they?
Well, so I had this discussion yesterday. They are, and if you had asked me at the start of the season, 18th of January, you're going to be sat 13th with the embargo lifted and the rest of it, I'd have been thrilled and I would have snapped your hand off for it. But with the Championship being as it is, if Cardiff lose 3 or 4 games of the next 5, they're going to be dragged right back into that relegation. But equally, if you win 3 or 4 out of your next 5, you could be right up in the playoffs as well. So it's such a mad league, mate. Isn't it?
Well, we have 15 points from relegation at the minute. So
yeah, mate. But look, if you look at the teams behind them, Bristol, Swansea, Millwall. Look at the form of Millwall. They've only lost 1 in the last 5 games. They've all those teams, like those 4 or 5 teams behind
Wednesday, you. QPR, Rotherham,
Huddersfield,
Birmingham. They're all struggling.
I think it's very unlikely that Cardiff get dragged into the relegation
You're just
zone.
negative Nelly, aren't you?
Yeah, mate. Of course, I'm a Cardiff City fan. I've had years of it, but I do think we're safe. But I'd be also disappointed if our season fizzles out because we haven't really strengthened in January and we end up sort of like 19th or 20th. And it's like, come on, that's it. Like, we after a good start this season, back the manager now in January. It sounds like they're trying to get some stuff done. Hopefully that'll come to fruition over the next couple of days. But the Championship, I just enjoy it so much. It's so like cut and thunder, and anyone can beat anyone on their day. Like I'll just pick a game out of the blue now. Sunderland play Hull on Friday the 19th of January, right? Hull have been struggling a little bit of recent. They've lost 4 of their last 5, right? Hull have. Sunderland's doing well, just outside the playoffs. If you told me that Hull go and beat Sunderland at Sunderland, I wouldn't be surprised. But Hull have lost 4 of their last 5 games. It's just a crazy, crazy league, and it's enjoyable, mate. I enjoy it more than I enjoy the Premier League at the moment. I feel like the Premier League is so commercialized, and I find it very difficult sometimes to get into it because you almost know who's gonna win and who's gonna be up there. I suppose there is a bit of that refreshing side of it this year with the Villas and some other teams up there, but I don't know. I mean, Villa's still there in 3rd in the Premier League, level on points with Man City. Yep. Arsenal level on points with Spurs in 4th and 5th. I think United are going to struggle, mate. Even if they put a run together, I think they'll struggle to get Champions League this year. I really do. Yeah, because I just think if you look at the top 4 now, Liverpool, City, Villa, and Arsenal, they all look very consistent this year. Tottenham look fairly consistent. They do, mate.
Arsenal just been beat 3 times.
Yeah, I know, but Arsenal's a small club, isn't it? I'm on about the big clubs like Liverpool, City, Villa.
Oh, I got you, yeah.
And Tottenham, of course, former FA Cup winners back in the day. But no, I think
the only one you think could struggle was Villa.
Just from an experience point of view, isn't it?
Coming to the end of the stretch, you get it's a different kind of pressure. They've got to keep it up. They've got to win every game. They can play all them top teams at the top in a week and not get anything. So, and there's 9 points lost straight away. So, yeah, it's and you'd expect United, Chelsea, or Brighton, one of them, or maybe Newcastle, on the stretch to get a run of games going.
Yeah,
Chelsea by say like an Ivan Toney.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be interesting. Is who gets him, because Arsenal want him. Chelsea have been rumored to be after him. I heard a whisper the other week or read somewhere that Tottenham wouldn't mind another striker. It's whether they've got the money. Like Ivan Toney, what do you reckon? 60, 70 million? Do you think about that?
No, more than that.
More than 70?
Yeah. Scores 20 goals a season, mate, for Brentford.
Yeah, I just meant off the back of a ban.
Brentford don't have to sell him. You're looking at north of 100 million, mate. I mean, round about 90 to 100 million.
Are Brentford in trouble, mate? They've lost 5 on the bounce. They're 3 points ahead of the relegation zone. If they lose Ivan Toney as well now in January, would you worry for them?
Well, they'd bring someone in, wouldn't they? They'd try and bring someone in as well. And if they got that money, this is why they need to do this business early. If they don't, then they keep him and he probably keeps them up. So that's that. Again, they get 100 million for staying in the Premier League. So it's a difficult one. But you would think if they're going to get rid of him, they'd do it pretty sharpish and have someone lined up.
Yeah, surely they wouldn't drag it out until the last week of the window if they're going to sell him, even if they're going to sell him for big bucks, because they've got to get someone in. I know he hasn't played this year, but the thought of him coming back and the lift he would have given that squad.
He scored 3 goals, so
yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? So we'll do our predictions now. I just looking at Chelsea's form. Chelsea have won 3 on the bounce, right? So. Yeah, I just think United might struggle. But if I stick with what I thought a couple of weeks ago, which was when Casemiro and Martinez come back, I think you'll see a big uptake in how United play.
I think someone's going to struggle in Plymouth.
Yeah, me too.
Home Park. Played there.
Away from home. Right, let's do some predictions then, my friend. I'll do the first one. You do the second one. Norwich versus West Brom. I've gone 2-1 to West Brom.
Norwich at home.
Yeah, to West Brom. 2-1 West Brom for me, mate. West Brom.
2-1 Norwich.
Oh, interesting. West Brom been banging form.
Home team. They're only like fucking 5 points behind them, so they're not. It's the Championship, mate. Come on.
And if Norwich can win, it closes that gap, doesn't it? Which what were we just saying? Bristol City in the Championship. Bristol City at home to Watford. What you got?
2-2.
I've gone 1-1. Brentford at home.
Copying me there.
I've already got mine in, mate. Brentford at home to Nottingham Forest. I've gone 2-1 Forest. Because I think Forest have been in good form, but I think Brentford have been struggling. They're literally a point separates them. I don't think so, mate. I'm not sure though. I can try and find that out because that would make a difference.
He's back now, can play now, can't he?
Oh, that's an interesting one.
3-1 Brentford.
Interesting. Yeah, I think he'd give him a massive lift, especially at home. I didn't consider Ivan Toney, but that's why you're here, mate, isn't it? For the stats, the analysis, the professionalism. Ivan Toney, is he back? Because if he's back, I am going to change my result.
Fuck's sake.
Shouldn't have told me, should you? Ivan Toney is back.
So I'm getting punished for doing research. My own research. Go on.
So I'm gonna change it from Forest 2-1 to what did you say?
3-1
Brentford. I'll go 2-1, 2-0 Brentford. Leeds at home to Preston North End, mate. I've got 3-1 Leeds, me.
2-0 Leeds.
Good shout. And then next up, we got Sheffield United at home to West Ham United. I've gone with 3-1 to West Ham. Tell me why I'm wrong.
1-0 Sheffield United.
Interesting. I think it's unlikely they keep a clean sheet. Although not Mengi, who's the centre back for Sheffield United? What's his name? That's going to bug me. I'll find that out now. I've gone 3-1 West Ham with that one. So, lastly, with Bournemouth at home to Liverpool, I've gone 2-1 to Liverpool, but I was not confident in that at all.
I've gone 3-1 Liverpool.
Because Bournemouth have been very, very good, haven't they? And they've won 4 of the last 5 games.
I'm going to go 3-2.
So I've gone 2-1. Yeah. Do you think they hold on to Solanke, mate, in January?
Yes.
I think they grab it, keep him in January, sell him in the summer, probably.
Mate, he was minging a year ago.
It's mad how it changes, isn't it?
I'd like cooler jets on him because he could go somewhere and do that again. So he's happy, scoring goals. Give him, cool your jets on him. He's, just need to see if it pans out. If
they stay up, mate, which it looks like, they might do, or they will do because they've been having a good season. If I was him, and I can't speak for his personal situation, etc. But if I was him, I'd think about staying at Bournemouth. Bournemouth have really done well over the last few years, and like you said previously, he was shite,
mate.
So the grass isn't always greener, mate.
Have you ever been to Bournemouth?
I have not. No. Is it a shithole?
No, not at all.
Is it a lovely place?
There's a lot of old people there.
Is there? It's not a young footballer type vibe, is it? Not like loads of girls and the rest of it.
Lovely place, though. Lovely place in the summer.
I might have to check it out, mate. I like, how old people are fit in, innit?
Yeah, it's a lovely place in the summer, but, there's a lot of the average age is,
old.
On the old side.
Sheffield United, Robinson, it was the centre-back I was thinking of. They don't tend to keep a lot of clean sheets, so I think West Ham will score. But there we go.
I think, West Ham have played a couple of games. They played the FA Cup. Sheffield United have not been doing anything, so Chris Wells is a really good coach. So I think it'll be a 1-0. They'll be coaching just on this game alone for like 6, 7, 8 days. So they'll be well prepared. And that's why I'm picking 1-0.
Good shout, mate. Just quickly before we finish, breaking news: Forest Green have sacked Troy Deeney after just 6 games.
I could have told you.
I saw just before we started. I saw a thing saying he had been banned for 4 games or something because I don't know if he got sent off or whatever, and then it just came up again saying he's been sacked. So not sure. Something happened on the sideline, did it?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. My mate said that he's gone. Round Elvis. Elvis bread he put. Picture of Elvis.
All it says is Troy Deeney was sacked after 6 games in charge of the League Two side. Deeney was in his first managerial role, apologised earlier this week for criticising his own players following a defeat by Harrogate, saying he allowed his emotions to get the better of him. They set 7 points above
again.
Relegation
Mate,
zone.
It's just amateur hour. How you think you're going to get a performance? You're a manager. Coach them better. Keep things in-house. You don't have to do things for clicks. What a bell end. I'd be very surprised if he gets a job again.
Do you know, it's weird though, right? It's
like I played in the Premier League.
Well, this is what I was going to ask you.
One of them, mate, fuck off.
Do you think that some of these players, like Troy Deeney, Rooney, whoever, who've played, Premier League football at least, do you think when they coach the lower league players, they get frustrated because those players aren't capable of what they expect?
Are you fucking putting Troy Deeney and Wayne Rooney?
No, I'm not. I just the first 2 that I could think of who played in the Premier League and managing at a lower level. There's a few others around as well. Maybe even Gerrard is the side putting it. Gerrard's just shite.
Possibly.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they just expect them to be able to.
Come on. He wasn't fucking He wasn't, Alan Shearer. No. Come on. Yes, he played in the Premier League and he scored some goals. But come on. Doesn't mean you can talk and treat people like the fucking idiots because you played in the Premier League.
So he looks like he said something on
P45 up and fuck off.
It looks like he said something on local radio or something and was quite critical of the players. Quite personal by the looks of it as well.
Can't do it, mate. Can't do it. Even though you want to, you say it in house, and then you go out and praise them and say, they need to work, blah, blah, blah. But you don't start. You
roll out the cliches to the press,
killing your players. Come on.
That's what cliché.
Just tell him to fuck off. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
Say, what the fuck are you going on about? You're a dickhead, mate. Just coach us. You're a dick. Coach us and win games. Don't just fucking try and hammer us personally on fucking
on the radio,
in the media. You're a dickhead. Like, I'll reiterate, pick your P45 off and fuck off.
We'll leave it there, mate. As always, appreciate your honesty. It's my favorite thing about the show, mate. No cliches here. We'll say how it is, say it how we think it is, say what we think, and no holding back. As always, mate, appreciate it. UFC on the weekend, looking good. Got our Welsh brethren Oban Elliott on the prelims as well.
Nice, we're watching that. I'll be up Saturday watching that because it's good card.
Have it.
If I stay up to watch it all, that's another story. But
yeah,
I'll watch it.
It's just so late, mate. It's too old for it these days. As always, check out the channels, check out everything else, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll be back tomorrow for a quick preview of Cardiff City versus Plymouth in the evening. Until then, we bid you farewell. In a bit.